Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? It is currently, let's see what time, 6:50 p.m. on this beautiful fallish summer day. And I say fallish because it feels kind of like early fall to me a little bit, like I should have on corduroy pants and a flannel shirt. It was still warm today, but not as warm as it's been the last couple days. It was probably mid to upper 70s today, and it rained a little bit earlier, but it just kind of like came and passed. It was while I was filming a video out here. But it's still been a nice day. There's a breeze in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear it. You'll probably hear it come and go because it's been kind of strong today, the breeze. But it's been a nice day. And I got a really good night's sleep last night. I did have a cup of the Sleepy Time Extra Tea, and I will tell you that it did absolutely nothing for me. I drank it while I was watching the last part of my show, and I was like kind of waiting for it to like kick in and make me tired because somebody commented and said that they like drank it and they were like drooling on their pillow. So I was like waiting for it to hit me. I thought like I'd be sitting here and all of a sudden I'd just be like, oh my God, I'm so tired, right? Never did that. In fact, I have to tell you that the Sleepy Time tea, just the regular one that I make in the Keurig, seems so much like stronger for me. Like it really calms me down and it just makes me a little bit more tired than the other one. So this one's called Sleepy Time Extra. And it comes in tea bags. And so I put on my kettle, which took about 2 minutes in the kitchen, my electric kettle, and fired it up and put in the bag of tea. I steeped it for like 5 or 10 minutes. And I even, like sitting out here watching my show, I kept a spoon in the cup so I could keep on pressing on the bag. So I make sure that I got, you know, the total worth out of the tea bag. And I was waiting for it to hit. And yeah, like it didn't make me tired at all. It didn't make me feel relaxed. In fact, I didn't feel anything from it, which is so strange because when I drink the Sleepy Time tea, I really do feel very relaxed from it. So I don't know that I'll continue to drink it. I now have 6 boxes of it. I don't know. I mean, I'll drink it, but I don't know that I would pick it over just the regular Sleepy Time. I prefer the regular Sleepy Time. But when I went to sleep last night, I did take 2 of, that's the recommended dose, 2 of the pills of the sleep supplement that has the magnesium in it. That like I got online and I was looking at like the best one and I bought this on Amazon. And so I bought, so this is the 3rd day in a row that I've taken it, and like I said, I can't really tell if it's working or not. But last night I took it, and I remember looking at the clock, and I was like trying to time out because it's supposed to like take effect in like 20 to 30 minutes. So I tried to just lay there as still as possible for 20 to 30 minutes, and I was like laying on my back, and then I was like talking to Boo Radley a little bit because he was like laying right by my head. And then I turned over on my stomach, and as I was turning over on my stomach, I looked at the clock, and it had been like 20 minutes, and that's the last thing I remember. And I woke up this morning and I felt fully rested. I don't remember Alex leaving this morning. I don't remember him kissing me goodbye. I mean, I was like in a deep sleep. So maybe it does work. I don't know. Maybe it just takes a couple days. A lot of people said to me on here that you need to take the magnesium-based supplements like for several days in a row before they start working. So maybe that's the case. I don't know. Last night, what did we do before I came out? Did we watch something on TV last night? Last night was Sunday night. Alex ended up ordering pizza because he asked me. He was like, oh, Alex watched Missing on Netflix last night. And he ordered pizza about 10 minutes into it. And he was like, do you want to get some pizza? And I was like, no. Like, nothing greasy really sounds that good to me. And so I was like, no, babe, you can get it, but I've got some leftover piata because I had like a third of like my pasta left, and then I had gotten another sandwich the night before, that Mediterranean sandwich, which I have to say I do not like anymore. Like, I'm not going to get that anymore. I'm just going to get the avocado one. But so he ordered the pizza came, and when the pizza came, he moved from watching the movie in the bedroom to downstairs, which was like, I don't know, the pizza seemed to come really quick, so it was about half an hour into the movie. And I was laying there, and I was trying to like rest because I wanted to get up and I wanted to watch From. And I also wanted to finish watching the documentary about Billy Milligan. It's a 4-part series called The 24 Faces of Billy Milligan. It's the true story that they're basing the Apple TV show The Crowded Room on. So I watched like an episode and a half, and I have to say, like, I wasn't super into it. Like I was telling Caroline, I don't, like, she was at the same place that I was. I thought she had finished the whole thing, but she wasn't. She was like on the second episode too. It just seemed really slow. It was very, very interesting and very educational when it comes, if you want to know about multiple personalities, which they call today dissociative identity disorder. And as far as like the words to use and the language to use, it's very educational on that. They have like tons of psychologists and psychiatrists that talk about DID in the show. The thing that's interesting, and I'll just tell you about the show right now, or what I thought about it. I'm not going to go in and do a review or anything. I thought the show was interesting. I had never heard of this guy before, so until I started watching The Crowded Room, I didn't know anything about this Billy Milligan. It was interesting because it was on my list on Netflix, so I must have read it at some point, but I didn't remember reading it. I feel like the documentary was kind of dragged out, and then I feel like the end was like really rushed because they talk about like the last 10 years of his life like very quickly. So I felt like that was kind of rushed. But anyway, what was I gonna say? It was okay. I mean, I'm glad that I watched it. It was interesting what a huge story it was, and that I had never heard of it before. I will say that, was that. And it was done in a really sensitive way, too. In fact, they talk about it throughout the documentary, but at the end of the final episode, they really talk a lot about, like, there was so much attention on him news-wise, because other than the book Sybil, he was really, like, the big second case of multiple personalities that had really come out and like people had really talked about. And he was actually working with the psychiatrist that worked with Sybil, that she like helped write the book or whatever, Sybil, that was made into a movie with Sally Field. And so he was getting tons and tons of like news media attention and all this kind of stuff. And a lot of people were saying that it was taking away from the story of the victim, and they talked actually about that at the end. And both his brother and his sister, who are like heavily interviewed in the series, and actually hearing the family background, and his mom, I think she was interviewed like years ago because I think she's since passed. She's a big part of the documentary as well. But both his sister and his brother both said that mental health or not, they did not condone what he had done to his victims, that it was no excuse. And so they did at the end of the documentary focus a lot on the victims, but I don't know if they were trying to keep the victims' names anonymous, all except for one that he possibly allegedly killed, this one guy in Washington. And it was interesting because a lot of it at the end took place in Bellingham, Washington, which one of my very good friends lives in Bellingham, Washington. I was like, this is so bizarre. Like, I've never seen anything about Bellingham before. And his brother lived actually in British Columbia. And so, but both his brother and sister were like, yeah, like, we don't, like, that's not an excuse for, like, the horrible things he did. And we feel horrible about the victims and all this kind of stuff. But they didn't mention any of the other victims' names, I think because of the severity of the assault cases and things like that they didn't like share their stories. I'm assuming that maybe they wanted to stay anonymous through that. I don't know. But they didn't share anything about the victims whatsoever, except for this one guy that he could have possibly killed. You don't know. He does come out at the end, right before he's dying, and he tells his niece that he's asking his niece something about, like, do you think, like, God forgives people for, like, horrible things that they did? And she's like, yes. And he's like, well, I killed people. And he admits to killing somebody, like, in 1979, this guy that he, like, hung out with. And actually, this guy's mom comes to his sister's house and was, like, asking if she knew anything about it. But they don't really go into depth about that. So it's a very sad documentary. It's sad in looking at... Well, the other thing is this, is that when you're done watching it, you don't really ever have any conclusive evidence on whether or not he really truly did have DID or whether he was faking it. Like, towards the end, I mean, they kind of, like, thread it through the whole show that, like, there's a possibility that he was faking it. But at the end, they really kind of insinuate that he was faking it and that he was manipulating it. He was like a master manipulator and things like that. So you don't really ever know. I mean, it's so sad about the victims. It's so sad about, like, the childhood trauma that he had. It's so sad about, they showed, like, the mental health community and the different hospitals that he goes to and the different care that he gets. And he goes to one place and they give him care. And it's not so much about him as it is just taking a look at the mental health community at that time. And what was going on was, like, he would go somewhere and he'd be on, like, this whole, like, medicine regimen and therapy and everything. And then he would go somewhere else, and because that doctor wanted to get famous off of him, like, or felt that he knew best or she knew best or whatever, they would completely switch the therapy. So, like, every year or two, like, his entire, like, the strategy was being, like, switched on what was, you know, and it makes you wonder, like, how many people that weren't criminals, that were just in psychiatric facilities or mental health facilities, were being treated. I mean, I've heard those stories for years and years and years, to this day, you know. I mean, there just is not, in the United States, good mental health treatment. There just isn't, you know. You have to really, really fight for good mental health treatment for yourself, your family members. And, you know, because of HIPAA and things like that, it really stops family members, definitely friends, but a lot of family members, from really helping their kids or siblings or whatever past the age of 18, because no, you know, mental health clinician is going to talk to you after the age of 18 about what's going on. And so you can't really get that person any kind of help. And most people, but what did they call it? They called it, I have a feeling this term is not used today, but they called it something, but it was like a heightened state of, like, a psychiatric diagnosis. Like a really dangerous psychiatric diagnosis. I mean, most people that are going to have those kinds of diagnoses of, like, severe schizophrenia and things like that are probably not going to be seeking out mental health treatment, aren't even going to be aware that they need it. You know, most of the people that they were talking about that had DID aren't even aware that they have DID. And so they wouldn't be seeking out mental health treatment. And so, I don't know, it's just, it's interesting. It leads to a lot of other conversations, you know, it leads to thinking about a lot of other things. But anyway, yeah, I watched that last night. But I watched the movie Missing with Alex, and while he was eating his pizza, and I ate a little bit of my sandwich last night, my Mediterranean sandwich, which was not good. I don't know, I loved it the first time that I got it, and then after that, I just haven't. But the avocado, and it has, like, cherry tomatoes that are cut in half, and it has corn and stuff in it. I love that one from Piata so much, and I love the pasta. So I'll still get that. But probably tonight. My husband went out to dinner with one of his girlfriends tonight. He texted me, like, right as he was getting off work, and he was like, do you care if I go out to dinner with so-and-so? He was like, she's leaving on such and such day, and we can't get together another night for my birthday. I was like, babe, go. I have, like, been filming videos all day long. I just want to relax. I want to film my vlog. I was like, go have a good time. He was like, do you want me to bring you, because they're going to Thai Sushi House, and he was like, do you want me to bring you anything? I know you love this place. I was like, no, I think I'll probably get Piata tonight. Fried rice just doesn't sound really good to me right now. I don't know. Everybody laughs. They're like, you literally get Piata every single night. I'm like, I know I do. I love it so much. But I don't know. I felt like for a couple days I was kind of, like, getting old of it. I was kind of like, okay, I don't think that I'm going to be able to, like, do Piata much longer. And then, like, earlier today, well, when Alex was texting me about dinner and stuff, I was thinking, oh my God, Piata sounds so good. Like, one of those sandwiches sounds so good. So anyway, so yeah, I watched the end of Missing. Well, the last, like, probably 10 minutes, I knew it was going to happen. And so I came out here and I was talking to Tanya on the phone, and then he came out here and he was like, I'm going upstairs to bed. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to come up there and talk to you for a couple minutes. So I went upstairs and we hung out and talked and whatever. And then he went to bed early because he had to get up early today for work. And I was like, if you lay down and fall asleep, you're either going to A, sleep through the night and not be able to watch your shows, or B, you're going to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and not be able to fall back asleep. So I was like, just go outside and start watching your shows. And actually, I think it was about, I think he went to bed about 10:30, between 10:30 and 11, something like that. And I came out here and got my blackberry sparkling juice, and I put my phone down and I listened to the last 2 hours of Jana DeLeon, Misfortune, Swamp Spirits, book number 23, and I finished it last night. And I was like so excited about it. I was like, I was so into the book. I mean, it was so nice to read a cozy mystery. It was so nice to read something that I just am like loving reading again, and like characters that I love and all this kind of stuff. Which, by the way, on my booktube channel today, I am posting, it's currently uploading right now, and I'm uploading a video over here on my phone, so I'm going to read some comments in just a second, because somebody said, I love it when you read 3 to 4 comments in every video, so I'll read some comments today. But anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so today on my booktube channel, I am posting the True Crime Book Club, or a True Crime Book Club's book for July, and also Peter's Book Club book for July, which is a cozy mystery, and I'm very excited about it. It's been out for a long time. I'm sure a lot of people have probably read it, but go check it out if you want to read it. So anyway, so then, as soon as I got done with that, I don't remember what time it was, but I listened to Jana DeLeon's books at 2 times 5 speed, because for me, like, they're really, really, Cassandra Campbell, who narrates them, I love her so much, but she reads them really slow, and so like 2 times 5 speed for me sounds like really normal. I know it sounds fast, but it's not super fast for me. So I got done with that, and it was about, it was like 12:30 or something like that when I finished it. And so I was like going through my books, and I was like, okay, I'm going to start Shady Hollow, because that was I think my April book for Peter's Book Club. And it's only 6.5 hours long on Audible. I said in one of my videos today, I said I started it today, but I actually started it last night. Well, I guess it could have said today, but anyway. So I started Mom and a Daughter walking down the street. My mom and I used to walk every single night when I was losing weight before, I think it was before my 10th grade year, because that was when I lost a bunch of weight that summer. But anyway, we used to walk every night like 2 miles. We had so much fun. I'm so grateful for that whole summer of walking with my mom. But, so I started Shady Hollow, and I listened to quite a bit of it. I actually got like 1/3 of the way through it. I have 2 hours left of Shady Hollow. And like, I'm listening to it at, I think, like 2 times speed. It's actually narrated by Cassandra Campbell, who narrates the Misfortune books. For some reason, it doesn't sound the same. I mean, she does sound the same, but it doesn't sound the same. And Shady Hollow, I kind of, there was a part of me that thought that I would think it was kind of corny, but I'm really loving it. And it is about this town called Shady Hollow that's in the middle of the woods, and this murder occurs of like a bullfrog. And all the characters are animals, like a fox is a journalist, and like a hummingbird is like the gossip columnist, and a bear is like the sheriff, and a moose is like he owns a coffee shop. And it's really cute. It's really a good mystery too, and I'm loving it so far. And there's 3 books actually in the series, and there's a 4th one that's coming out in November. My neighbor is inspecting her plants over here. They were having chicken for dinner earlier. Glazed chicken, I think he said. I was like watching my video out here, and he could hear me, and he goes, I asked him, like, what is it? He goes, get back to work. Dude, don't worry about me and what I'm having for dinner. I said, no, I want to know what you're having for dinner. He goes, I'm having glazed chicken. So I read about a half an hour, not a half an hour, about maybe an hour of Shady Hollow. And then I started watching From, the newest episode that just came out. And I think next week's episode is the finale. If there's only going to be 10 episodes, I don't know how many episodes there's going to be this season, but next week will be the 10th episode. I feel like so many things are going to be like not completed. I mean, I'm sure it's going to get renewed for another season. I hope it's going to get renewed for another season, because I love that show so much. But there's so many things that are going on right now that I feel like it needs like 4 or 5 more episodes to kind of like complete before the end of the season. There's a lot of stuff that happened in last night's episode. I feel like the second season of this is better than the first season of this, in all honesty. And then I watched, what do you call it? I watched the end of the second episode and the last 2 episodes of The 24 Faces of Billy Milligan. And I already talked to you guys about that, so. Are you watering your plants?
I am.
How was dinner? I heard you had glazed chicken.
Yeah. Marinated chicken.
Marinated chicken. What? What? Peas from your garden?
Fresh peas from my garden.
Did you have cherry pie?
I'm going to, but I haven't had it yet.
Because you've been saving that piece now for 2 days.
I know. Well, tonight I'm going to
It might rain and you might not have to worry about it.
it's not, no, the rain's gone.
The rain's gone.
Yeah, no rain.
She still wanted me to wait until the perennials come out, so she said July might be better for me to do it, so I might wait till July to go over there and film her garden. Anyway, and then I went to bed, and that's when I took those 2 supplements. And I must have, I wasn't like super tired, so they must have helped. I don't know. I mean, I was like ready to go to bed, but I wasn't like exhausted. Like, you know, the thing is that when I take a nap, well, what I call a nap at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, I know people laugh that I call that a nap, but for me it is, you know, just because my schedule is different. But when I take a nap that late at night, like I'm really tired typically. And so, like, I fall asleep very easily. I'm very relaxed. Even if Alex is watching TV and he's got it, like, very loud, I don't have any, like, he just finished, actually, last night. He watched Gossip Girl from the very beginning to the very end. He just finished it last night, which is why he was just like, I don't know what I'm going to watch. He goes, I'm thinking about watching all the seasons of Elite again. I go, why don't you watch something that you've never watched before? He goes, like, what? And I go, like, Missing. Like, I've been telling you about it for, like, 2 weeks straight now. So, that's why. He goes, oh, yeah, I keep on forgetting about that. So, he'll probably start watching Gossip Girl again. Well, I was telling him that Mel's watching Schitt's Creek, so he started watching Schitt's Creek the other night. He watched like 3 episodes of it. So maybe he'll start watching Schitt's Creek again. But anyway, I told him, I said, you should text Mel. I said, and joke with her about Schitt's Creek, because she's loving it. But it's funny because back in the day, when I couldn't binge watch a show to save my life, I was so jealous of him, you know? Because he would like binge watch a show, like, every 2 days, and now he like has not been starting like a lot of new shows. I don't know what he said. He has a bunch of shows on his list and stuff like that, but he's like, I don't really know what to watch, and blah, blah, blah. Hold on a second. My video is done uploading, so I can read some comments. But I feel like there was something that I wanted to say first. So anyway, I took those supplements and then I went to bed and fell asleep, and then I woke up today and got some iced coffee and took Boo Radley out, let him run all around. He's been super attention seeking today. I don't know what is going on with him. We've noticed it a lot lately that during the night, I'd say from like 6 to like 10, he is super attention seeking and like running all around. And I mean, I don't know what it is, because like he takes his medicine in the morning and then he doesn't get it again at night until between like 9 and 10. So it's before he's gotten his medicine dose at night. But he's just like crazy, like running everywhere, running up and down the stairs. He really likes us. I know it's gonna sound crazy, but for those of you that have pets out there, you'll know what I'm talking about. He really loves for us to be in the bed. Like because he can then lay in bed with us, and I think that's like his most, like, I think that's where his safe spot is, or where he feels the most comfortable. Today, I've been going in and out a lot because I've been filming videos out here, and every time I go in, he is like, well, he was standing earlier, but the last couple times he's been laying down on like the landing on the stairs. And so I went upstairs and I put him on the bed because I thought maybe it was because he couldn't jump on the bed, which he's had no problem jumping on the bed for like the last year. So I lifted him up and I put him on the bed. I'm actually like washing our comforter. And I did like a load of towels, and then I washed our comforter, so the comforter's not on there. I don't know, maybe that's disorienting him a little bit. There's not a comforter on the bed right now because I've got to put it in the dryer. But I put him on the bed, and then I came downstairs, and I started like putting this video together, and I could hear him walking around on the floor, so he jumped off the bed. And then when I walked by again, he was like standing on the landing. And what it is he wants us to come up there, is what it is. Like, he wants to be in bed, but he wants us to be in bed too. Which I think is so hilarious. I mean, I love it. I think it's so cute, but it kind of cracks me up. But yeah, like, he's like, what was the word that Alex used? Because, like, typically when we're watching shows, I'll sit in the chair and Alex lays on the couch. Like, if we watch shows downstairs. And this wasn't last night. This was the night before. I can't remember what the word was that Alex used. I want to say finicky, but that's not a good description of what Boo Radley was doing, so that wasn't the word. But, like, he'll stand there for Alex to pick him up, and then Alex will pick him up, and usually, like, when he's calm, he'll lay down, like, on Alex's stomach or, like, curl in to the side of him or whatever. But he would sit there for a second, and then he would just stare at me, and then he would jump down and come over to me, and then I would pick him up, and I would put him on, like, the ottoman and whatever, and then he would, like, smell over the ottoman, and then he would lay down for, like, 2 seconds, and then he would stand up, and then he would jump, and then he would go over to his bed, and he would dig in his bed until he found, like, a spot, and then he would, like, go around in a circle. That's what he always does in his little bed or upstairs in the bedroom, and he would do that, and then he... Is my phone ringing? Oh, Alex just texted me and said, on my way home. Let me text them. That wasn't a very long dinner. I'm going to order my dinner here in just a little bit. So then he would, like, dig and dig and dig and go around in a circle and make his little, like, you know, bed, or make his little spot in his bed, and then he'd lay there for, like, 5 minutes. And then he'd get up, and he'd do, like, circles, like, through the living room, through the dining room, through the kitchen, and around, and he just kept on doing circles. And so we thought he had to go outside to go potty, and so we would take him outside. And this dog will lift his leg 15 times, like, he just loves the smell. It's like, you know, they say it's like reading the newspaper. So he would, but he wasn't really doing anything. And we took him out, like, I think this was 2 nights ago. No. That was Saturday night. I can't remember what night it was. Sunday night. It might have been Friday night. I don't even remember what night it was. But anyway, last time that we were sitting down watching TV. Was it Friday night? Because I feel like that's when we watched RuPaul's Drag Race. So maybe it was Friday night. So we sat there, and we kept on taking him out, like, every 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, and he didn't really need to go outside. And often, he'll act like he has to go outside so that when he comes inside, he gets treats, because he always gets, like, a handful of these, like, those little Jack treats. He loves those. They're, like, training treats, but for him, they're easier to eat because they're, like, really, really small. Like, you know, they're like the size of the end of, like, a pencil eraser. And he can eat them because he doesn't have teeth, right? Alex just texting me back. What did he say? Oh, he always hearts everything. So, a lot of times, like, we're like, oh, he just wants treats, right? But he kept on doing that. Like, he wanted to go outside. We couldn't figure it out. So, he's been like that for, like, the last, I would say, like, 3 or 4 nights. He's been, like, super energetic during the night. I don't know what's going on with him. But I'd rather have him be that way than, you know. Today, when I woke up, he was, like, really, like, tired at first. Like, he didn't really want to get up out of the bed and whatever. And then when I got down and I was, like, brushing my teeth and whatever, he came into, like, the bathroom. And he, like, stands in the sunshine through the sunlight. And then he, like, smells the vent. I don't know what that's about, but he always has to, like, smell the vent. And he goes... He always does that. And then he just kind of stands there and watches me while I brush my teeth. He's so sweet. He is the sweetest dog in the whole world. So I don't know what I'm going to watch tonight. I don't have any of my current TV shows on, I don't think. Hold on a second. I watch TV shows. I felt like there was one I needed to put on here. Now I don't remember what it was. Jury Duty I put on there. I think the newest episode of The Idol came out. I'm really not into that, honestly. We have, I think, a Real Housewives of Atlanta came out on Sunday, so we have an episode of that to watch. So maybe we'll watch that tonight while I'm eating my piata, and I'm sure Alex will want to watch it, and then he'll probably watch a movie or something, and then I don't know, I want to listen to some of my audiobook tonight and just kind of relax. I mixed some of my iced coffee earlier with that high brew. Do you hear that bee right there? With some of that high brew Mexican vanilla coffee, which I love so much. And I really like the mix. So I had half the can left, so I went in before I started vlogging and I mixed it again with more iced coffee. But I don't know what to watch next. Somebody asked me on here not too long ago, they said, did you watch Cruel Summer? I can always tell the people, no offense, but I can always tell the daily vlog watchers because they're the ones that if I ever miss a day. They're like, I can't believe you're missing a day. What am I going to do? Blah, 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 which I love so much. So thank you. It makes me feel very loved. Makes me feel so loved and adored. I love it so much. But then there are the people that I can tell that don't watch every vlog because they'll ask me a question like, did you ever watch Cruel? It stopped and that bee is like, was coming all over near me. But then there'll be those people that will ask me like, did you ever watch Cruel Summer? It's such a good show. You would love it. And I'm like, didn't I talk about that like at length when I was watching the show? Like not just one day, but like multiple days I watched it. But there's a new season of Cruel Summer. I don't know when it starts. Let's see. It probably already started. I think it started like on the 13th or something. Cruel Summer season 2. Oh my god, there's 1, 2, 3 episodes out so far. Is it the 19th? Yeah, and the 4th episode comes out today. I need to start watching that, so maybe that's what I'll watch. Here, let me put that on my list. Cruel Summer. TV shows I'm watching. Cruel Summer. Speaking of which, for our trip, I'm trying to figure out like movies to download to watch on the plane. Has anybody seen... Oh, first of all, do you have any really good thrillers to recommend, movies that I can download? I don't care if I have to pay to rent them. I will pay to rent them to watch them on a plane. I love nothing more than watching a movie on a plane. And it's easier for me to watch a movie on a plane than watch a show. Because a lot of like the streaming services like Hulu and things like that, you can't download the shows. So I would rather just like rent like 2 movies and then I know that like I can watch 2 movies, you know, whatever, 3 movies. So if you have any recommendations, let me know. But if not, I think I'm going to watch Book Club and Book Club 2. I don't know what it's called. That's like with Jane Fonda and Diane Keaton. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I don't know why those look appealing to me. But I think the first one is about they like read and respond to 50 Shades of Grey. And I don't know what the second one's like, one of them's getting married and they go somewhere. But anyway, so I'm thinking about watching those. But if you guys have any suggestions for thrillers or horror movies that are really good that I can buy, or, well, I won't buy them, but I'll rent them, let me know. I went through the iTunes, like all like the newest releases, and there's really nothing on there that I want to like rent. So I don't know. But if you also have movies on Netflix and things like that, please let me know. So what else? Like, what else? What else do I want to talk about before I start answering some comments? Well, I filmed videos on every one of my channels today. I filmed a drama video sitting out here. I filmed a Peterisms video sitting right out here. A long one. I've been doing long Peterisms videos. And I've been answering comments, which is really fun for me. And kind of like incorporating like lessons I've learned in my life and things about my life. So I really appreciate the people that watch that channel. So thank you so much. And all of that. And then I did a booktube video out here, sitting out here, announcing the July books for Peter's Book Club and a True Crime Book Club. And then I also filmed a Peter Does Stuff video, another water talk video, but a cool one today. Well, it's a little different than the rest of them. And then I filmed that in the kitchen, in the window. And then I did a review of the Haagen-Dazs butter cookie cones. So go check out those videos, and this is my 6th one. I literally filmed a video on every single one of my channels today. So I'm feeling very accomplished. I'm feeling very proud of myself today. So I can totally take the night and relax and watch some of my shows. So maybe I will watch Cruel Summer. I don't know what else has come out. That I was watching the trailer for The Playing Card Killer, and I don't think I really want to watch it. I don't really think it's my kind of thing. Let me look on Netflix and see. I don't feel like Netflix has had a lot of great shows lately, honestly, except for that Missing movie. Take Care of Maya. Do you guys know anything about this? This came up last night when I was finishing that other thing. Shattered homes, unending trials, children in pain, how one family's fight for justice exposed a flawed system that traumatized parents and ruined lives. That might actually be really good. Screenshot that, add it to my list. When Missing Turns to Murder, that looks good. I don't necessarily like when you watch using testimony from family and friends. This docuseries looks at cases in the UK where missing persons investigations took a turn for the worse. Okay, so I don't necessarily love, unless there's kind of like a thematic story to it, like there was with like that Investigations one that I just watched not too long ago. I don't necessarily love documentary series, like true crime documentary series where every episode is a different story. Like, I don't love that. I don't love those podcasts either. The Amy Schumer thing I still have to watch. Top 10 shows in the U.S. today, Black Mirror. Okay, do y'all think I would like Black Mirror? I think there's like 4 seasons now. Hold on. Oh, 6 seasons. Do you guys... Here's my husband. I can tell the sound of his car. Nope, it's not him. Surprise, surprise. Do y'all think I would like Black Mirror? Should I start watching Black Mirror? Let me know if you think I should watch Black Mirror. And then... The Surrogacy. An innocent woman, a greedy family. When a couple arranges an illegal surrogacy, 2 worlds clash in ways no one could ever imagined. This looks good. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of episodes. Oh my, 24 episodes is a lot of episodes. I don't know if I can get into a show like that. Suits, Manifest, Already Watched, Never Have I Ever, could care less. Fubar, SWAT, All American, Our Planet 2, and Married at First Sight, which people love, but I've never gotten into that before. So anyway, if you guys have any show recommendations, please let me know. Alright, let's read some comments. Da, 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 da. Shannon said, oh my word, Peter is about to parent trap these 2 poodles that walk down my street. They actually, when I was filming my drama video, they walked by and their dog got groomed today. And I was talking to them in my drama video, so you can hear them in the background, talking about their dog getting groomed. Alexis said, I'm sure somebody already told you, but here's my husband now. Yep. I'm sure somebody already told you, but you can use your Keurig to just make a hot cup of water so you don't have to get out your kettle. Which I know, but you hear Boo Rally, he's going crazy. Which I know, but I don't use the kettle that much anyway, so I kind of like the idea of using the kettle. Anyway, okay, I'm going to get off here really quick and say hi to Alex, and then I'm also going to order my food on DoorDash and see if he wants to watch Atlanta. So I will be back in 2 and 2. Okay, I'm back. I was busy in there. Talked to my husband and checked in with him. He is like super tired. I was like, we can watch Atlanta if you want. And he was like, okay. I was like, does that mean that you don't want to watch Atlanta? He was like, no, we can do whatever you want. He's like super tired. He's had a long day. But he said he had a good dinner and all that kind of stuff. And then I got all my other videos posted. So all of my videos are posted except for this one. And then I ordered my Piata. So my Piata should be here in about 15 minutes. All right, let's go back into the comments. I'm just kind of skimming it through here. Okay, Connie said, when I film my videos on my phone, I look into the viewfinder to the left and it works for me. Okay, so somebody said something about looking into the camera, like through, like where the camera is right there. But the thing is that, let me just show you this. Okay, so I understand what you're saying when it's like up there. But the thing is that I typically film my videos like that. And so you would have to look at it over to the side. So I don't know if that's what you mean or whatever, but I'm going to try that. So I'll look to the left. But it's so disconcerting when you're watching to the left. Because like when I'm watching this right now, like the screen in the back pops up. And so I'm looking at myself when I'm filming this. Here, I'll show you guys exactly what I'm looking at. Hold on just a second. So you can see that the camera is like right, you can see that I'm up there, right? So I'm looking at myself. So in the phone, it's a little bit different, but I appreciate you guys giving me some suggestions on that because I really don't know what to do and I always feel so stupid when I'm trying to film it. So, Tanelia said, side note, and please don't take this the wrong way, I love you to death, but it's not that you don't edit that is the issue. It's when you talk about a YouTuber who says they only have time to upload twice a month, but you upload 6 videos a day. You upload 6 videos a day because you don't edit. So it's not the same thing. I love that you don't edit and your videos are great just the way they are. I'm not saying that's why they bring up you're not editing. I understand what you're saying, and no, I don't take any offense to that whatsoever. I think the thing that most people don't know is that most people that film 2 videos a month and upload them, they send their videos off to somebody and they have them do the editing for them. They're not sitting on a computer, most of them, and doing the editing. If it was somebody that was a much smaller YouTuber that was putting a lot of time and energy and they were editing their own videos and all that kind of stuff, like, I would truly understand that and I appreciate that. And I have friends of mine that do that, like, they edit their own videos. I will also say that I also know people that they film videos every day, every other day, and they are highly edited videos and they post every day to every other day. So I don't think that's a good excuse, in all honesty, from my end, when people say, well, I only post 2 times a month because I'm editing a video and it takes me 2 weeks to edit a video. Okay, if you're filming a 10-minute video and it's taking you 2 weeks to edit that video, what are you editing out? Like, I'm confused, right? And like, then when you watch that video and that video is somebody that is, it's all jump cuts, right? And it was interesting because somebody commented on here, I read this comment last night, and they said the reason why people started doing that back in the day with all the jump cuts was because YouTube was really pushing shorter videos. So instead of like it being like a 20-minute video, they want it to be like a 6-minute video, which I totally remember that. That was like when Jenna Marbles got famous and Tyler Oakley and all those people were like posting like 5-6-minute videos, and then people were sharing them on, you know, Facebook and other social media, and they were getting pushed really high and all that kind of stuff, right? And so yes, I totally understand why you would edit those videos, but that's not really the case today. And most of the people that I am critical of that say, well, I only post 2 videos a month because I have to edit, it's like so difficult to edit, those are people that I know for a fact send their videos out to editors. Like, they literally, all they do, and most of them don't even do this, is push record on a camera and then film a video that takes them maybe a half an hour to film, and then they send it off to an editor and have the editor do the rest of the work, including the description box, including the tags that they use. They do all the, make the thumbnail, all that stuff. No, yeah, I make my own thumbnails. I know they're not fantastic, but I do all my own thumbnails. I do all my own description boxes. I'm the one that sits in front of a computer and does all that kind of stuff. That doesn't just take 2 seconds. I mean, that takes a while to do. When you're doing 6 videos, it takes me an hour or 2, you know, to do each video, even though I'm not editing, right? I totally understand what you're saying, and I respect that. But like I said, there are a lot of people that I know that post videos every day or every other day, and their videos are highly edited. And then there are other people that come out and they say they only post a video twice a month because they have to work so hard on editing. If you have a full-time job and YouTube is just something that you're doing for fun, and so at night you're like filming a video one night, maybe it takes you 2 nights to film a video, and then you're spending the next 2 weeks over that time, like an hour here, an hour there, editing that video, I totally get that. Like, I totally understand that it would take you that long, right? But if your full-time job is editing a video, and I'm not talking about these huge videos like Shane Dawson does and stuff that have like clips from all different kinds of videos, I understand why a video like that would take 2 weeks to edit and 3 weeks to that. But most of the people that I am critical of are people that, like, their videos are literally get readies with me. Or whatever, and they're cutting out things because they say things that they don't want you to hear in their videos, or there's long periods of space. I've literally sat there with them when they're filming these videos, or I've talked to them and they'll say, I don't know how you do, like, just one take. Like, I have no clue how you sit down for 20 or 30 minutes and do one take, because for me, it takes me like a half an hour to an hour to get like a 10-minute video because of all the pauses that go for 2 to 3 minutes and whatever, which I have those in my videos too. I just leave them in most of the time. But no, I don't love when people want to complain about how they can only post 2 videos a month or 1 video a month, when I know for a fact that they're sending their video off to have somebody edit and do all that stuff for them, and really all they're doing is sitting in front of a camera filming 1 video a month it's not hard to film a video, okay? Like, especially if you're somebody that's been doing this for a long time. Those people they can't even get in front of a camera 3 to 4 times a week or 2 times a week. And 1 time a week, that would be 4 videos a month. And they can't even do one, when that's their full-time job and they've said that that's their full-time. No, that's confusing to me, right? So no, I don't understand that. But I don't take any offense to that. I understand that. Let's see. Somebody said, Dane said, I'm so glad Vicky is your favorite too, Peter. My favorite on Orange County. Let me just clarify that. To me, the show is not the same without Vicky. I just love her. Tamara is entertaining, but I don't like her as a person. Okay, so I'm not saying that Vicky is not problematic, because I do believe that Vicky is problematic, but like Ramona Singer on New York, who I also think is problematic, I think that Vicky makes good television. And for me, when I watch The Housewives, which I took a break for a couple years, I don't know if you guys remember me, but I was like, it's so much fighting, it's so much toxicity, like I just couldn't, it was a lot for me. Oh my god, my order has been picked up already from Piata. Yes, Piata again. But, but when I got back into it, I was like, that's kind of what I watched The Housewives for, is like the craziness of it all, right? So when you watch an entire episode and it's kind of just like blah, 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 and there's nothing, like nobody gossiping about each other. I mean, that's what you watch The Housewives for, right? Vicky was good television. Ramona is good television. All the Atlanta, I think everybody on Atlanta, well, with the exception of Sonia, which I like her. I think she's a nice person. I like her as a person. And Drew, I think, is boring. I don't know why either one of them are on the show. I feel bad that Drew's getting divorced. I feel bad for her, but, you know. It's going to be interesting to see how they weave her getting divorced into the storyline. Because I believe filming's still going on, or wasn't completed at the time that they filed for divorce. So it's going to have to be in the storyline somehow. That's going to be interesting. Mrs. B said, I'd just like to say that if we didn't love your unedited videos, Peter, then we wouldn't watch. I'd be disappointed if you did start all of that. Your drama channel is old school and we love it. Oh, thank you so much. Savannah said, I loved Izzy's forever. I don't think they are sugar-free, but really yummy. They're really good. I want to look these up. Hold on a second. Sparkling juice drink. Let's look at the nutritional values, because I really have no clue, to be honest with you. Oh, they come in cans, too. Oh, they have sparkling apple. I got blueberry, or I got sparkling blackberry and clementine. No added sugar, no artificial sweeteners. Where's the nutritional value on this? Let's just look at the blackberry, since that's my favorite. None of the bad stuff. Not to give away all of our secrets here, but it's a pretty simple mix, including real fruit juice and a splash of sparkling water. Does it have the nutritional? It doesn't have the nutritional thing on it. Because I want to see nutrition facts. This is the clementine juice. Total fat 0, saturated fat 0, trans fat 0. Sugars, oh, 19 grams of sugar, so there's a lot of sugar in there. It's not sugar free, sorry, but I like them. I think they're good. They're like 120, 130 calories each, but they're good. But they're not sugar free. Okay, Pickle said, Pickle, I love that name. Making a pie while listening to this and laughed out loud to this, and then she timestamped it. Whenever you guys timestamp it, I don't know if you, this is my snarky comment for the day. I don't know what 1 hour and 42 minutes and 34 seconds, I have no clue what I said. I don't know if you guys think that I remember everything I said from my, but no, I'm joking. I think she's talking about when I was talking about my neighbor, Norma, and Norma was like, maybe you'll get one day. She gave her pies to her favorite people. Oh, you guys were so nice about saying that it was almost 2 hours and how much you liked that. I just want to say I appreciate that so much. Adrian said, thank you so much for the longer vlogs. Alyssa said, oh my god, almost 2 hours. What a great way to get through work today. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Christine said, hey Peter, I love listening to radio shows. Back in the 70s and 80s, I would bring my little AM radio to bed and listen to CBS Radio Mystery Theater. Oh, I love that. Alicia said, my 20-year-old daughter and I binge watched Jury Duty per your suggestion. Oh my god, we were dying laughing. It was so funny. Judy was talking about tuna melts, and she said, I love tuna melts. It's a tuna salad, cheese with bread, and grilled. Basically a grilled cheese with tuna. So good. Okay, so I don't eat tuna because I'm a vegetarian. I used to eat tuna back in the day. That was like the only fish I would ever eat. It was like, but it had to be like, well, actually somebody asked me, did my mom ever make me tuna casserole? And she did. Used to make me tuna casserole. And it was okay. It wasn't one of my favorites, but I didn't dislike it. I can remember kind of like having some fond memories because she would always have like garlic bread with it or whatever. But tuna casserole and tuna fish salad sandwiches, that was like kind of where I drew the line. Joe said, I started watching Jury Duty and I love it. Thanks so much, viewers and Peter, for the recommendations. Oh, I love that. I also got a Stanley Cup copy from TJ Maxx and it's a game changer. I'm now easily drinking 3 liters a day. So good. Okay. This was so funny. Leslie said, okay, honey, since we are besties now, do we need to put a ceiling fan on the porch? I don't want to get too hot for you to sit out there and talk to me. I absolutely love sitting on the porch with you. And then Judy said, wait, I thought it was only me on the front porch with Peter. Yes, we need a ceiling fan to keep us comfortable. And Leslie said, haha, so we are besties now too. But this did remind me of something that I wanted to say, and I don't know if I said this or not, but if you guys remember the heater that Alex got me for Christmas, it's supposed to go up there. So Alex bought me this amazing heater and it's supposed to go up there and whatever. And so my neighbor next door, because I didn't know how to hang it, I was going to have to hire like a handyman to come here and do it. So he's like really good with stuff like this. And so he came over and he like read, did I tell you guys about this already? I don't know. But he like read the instructions and took it home and he like looked online at the exact model and everything. And he came over here and he was like, I feel really bad for telling you this. And I was like, what? And he was like, but Alex ordered the wrong one. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And he goes, it's not the one that goes up like on your roof and the heat comes down. He goes, all the heat goes back up. And he goes, and it says not to hang it like within so many feet of the roof or the wall, because if you do, it can cause like a fire. And so apparently it's supposed to be like hung on like an outside. I don't even really understand it, to be honest with you. But I told Alex, and Alex is like, I said, so maybe we can return it, because he got it on Amazon. Maybe we can return it to Amazon and whatever. And he was like, I think it's been too long because it's been like, 6 months now or whatever. So I've been meaning to look into that. I'm still going to look into that and contact Amazon and see if they can like take it back or whatever. If not, then we do have a place on the back patio where it can go, so we can sit out in the back patio in the fall, because Alex likes to sit out there in the fall and stuff like that. So, but I wanted to say that. But I'm not getting a ceiling fan out here anytime soon. Star Lily said, have you tried the Reed's ginger beer? It's not actual beer, but it's delicious. I have not. Jill said, hope your dad had a great Father's Day. My dad had a great Father's Day. I talked to my dad for quite some time on the phone yesterday. And so my stepmom had texted me like the day before, and she's like, okay, it's Father's Day, it's Alex's birthday, and it's your birthday, and we know that you're going away, so like, and they have to like have their dog in doggy daycare because they never leave it alone. So she's like, I don't know what's a good day for us to get together, but like Father's Day on Sunday is not a good day, so we're gonna have to do this in July. And then I was like, okay, well, Alex is going, we're going this week, and then on vacation. I was giving her the dates, and then I was like, and then Alex is going in July for my brother-in-law's bachelor party, and I said, so we'll have to do it either before or after that. So anyway, but I called my dad yesterday and I said, are you having a good Father's Day? And my dad's like, my Piata is here. Hold on just a second. I don't like to go too soon because then I'm just kind of like standing there. Okay, I'll be right back. Hold on. Hey, how are you? Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I like the t-shirt. Cute. Have a good evening. Drive safe. I'll try. Here is my Piata, which I'm going to put it inside in just a second. But Because I actually need to change the battery here in a second too, because it's like at the halfway mark. Oops, she just texted me that she's approaching with your food order from Piata. So I called my dad, and my dad's like, I was like, are you having a good Father's Day? Well, I can't remember how it started, but anyway, he was like, it's a Hallmark holiday, which is what he always says. He always says that Father's Day is a Hallmark holiday, and it's just like, the purpose of the holiday is just to like sell greeting cards and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, I knew you were going to say that. And I was like, are you guys having a good day today? I said, because, you know, he said, yeah, he was telling me about it. He's like, your stepmom's trying to like get us all together and whatever, and today was not a good day because we couldn't do the doggy daycare on a Sunday and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, I know. She and I were talking and trying to arrange something. And he was like, and I said, are you having a good day? And he goes, oh, I'm having the best day. And I go, what? Okay, my battery died. So I used that as an opportunity to take my Piata inside and put my sandwich in the refrigerator, as well as getting a new battery for the camera, so I can get back to vlogging for a little bit longer. I'm not going to vlog forever because I want to watch the show, and I'm starting to kind of like fade and get a little bit tired. So anyway, so yeah, so I called my dad and I was like, are you having a good day? And he's like, oh, I'm having the best day. And they were watching The Mule with Clint Eastwood. My dad, he's like, have you ever seen this movie before? And I was like, yes, I love that movie so much. He's like, oh my God, it's so good. And so anyway, he was telling me all about that, and he was hanging out with the dog, and he had like sat on the back patio and read and stuff like that. So he had a really, really good day yesterday. And I said, well, I'm sorry that we couldn't get together today. And he was like, well, we couldn't have got together today anyway because of the doggy daycare. And like, they're so funny about this whole doggy daycare thing. They can only go do something because they never leave their dog alone ever. So the only time that they can ever do anything is if they can get their dog into doggy daycare. And so on weekends, it's really, really tricky, which is why we typically have to do something like on a weekday if we're going to do something. So anyway, but Alex gets off early on Friday, so we're trying to plan a Friday that we can get together and do something. So anyway, but yeah, my dad had a great Father's Day yesterday. And hey, how are you? And I hope that all of your fathers and your father figures and you fathers out there and you pet dads and grandfathers and uncles and everybody out there, I hope you guys had a great Father's Day yesterday. Okay. Joe said, I'm 52 and agree. I do not remember having homework during elementary or high school, if I'm honest. Well, I do remember having it in high school, and I remember choosing to not do my homework a lot in high school, but I don't remember having it in elementary school. And actually, I got quite a few comments about this. Aw, Prissy Kitty said, you're so handsome and your smile takes me out of my dark spots. You're my family, I wish. Your light shines so bright and fills me with happiness. You make me smile. Thank you. Sending prayers. Oh, that was so sweet. Sending prayers and hugs. Frankie said that she has a Sony a6000 and she loves it. She's had it for about 8 years and it hasn't failed. I can't believe you've had it for that long, because mine only lasted about 2 years. She also said that Vicky is her favorite housewife. Oh, this is where Paige was talking about the camera at the top of the iPhone in the middle-ish between the time and the battery. That's what she's talking about, like with right there. But I don't know how to do it when it's like sideways. Where was the comment that somebody said? Oh, here it is. Danny said, Peter, can you please make it a segment where you read and respond to like 3 and 4 comments? It's nice to hear your responses. Oh, I love that. Okay, here it is. Charlotte said, I'm your age, Peter. I have a 31-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter. She just completed 1st grade, and you are 100% correct. The amount of homework she has is crazy town. They've even given the students worksheets and virtual homework to do over summer break, which I think is so sad. And Gemma said in response to that, oh my God, really, that is crazy. We are from Ireland and they don't get much as is maybe a math sheet, but in the month of June, they don't really get any, if it's warm out, and if they do, I don't make them do it. I tell them their homework is to play out in the sun, haha. And I totally agree with that. Like, you know, one of the things that is so confusing to me, I just have to say this with, and I know that there are so many thoughts on this, and so I'm just going to talk about one aspect of it, okay? I know that with, like, parents working more and things like that, like, the extended calendar year is important. I get that, right? Like, I understand that with all these different things that we have to have an extended calendar year. This is just my opinion, and I can tell you that when I have shared this opinion in the past, it has not gone over well, okay? There are a lot of people that have very strong opinions about this. So when I say this, I'm being very careful that I just want to address one part of it, okay? I know that there are many, many reasons for having an extended calendar year, okay, for school. And what I mean by that is where kids are getting out later and going back to school earlier. When I was in school, we got out Memorial Day weekend and we didn't go back until after Labor Day. So we got a full 3 months of summer every year, and I felt like we needed it. What's interesting is my dad, when he was growing up, even my mom got even longer summers because I think they got out like 2 weeks before Memorial Day and started like a week after Labor Day or something like that. I can't remember, but I can remember my dad saying, oh, we even got longer summers, you know, whatever. So I'm just going to talk to this one point, okay? The idea that kids need to be in school longer and they need to have homework over the summer and things like that because they're not going to retain as much information or they're not going to learn as well and things like that. I understand that needing to have, you know, longer school years and things like that for parents that work 2 and 3 jobs and on and on and on. I understand all that, okay? I understand all the many reasons that there are. But just in speaking to the retainment of information and that kids are losing information and things like that, my dad never did. My mom never did. You know, a lot of people during that generation that got 3 full months of summer, which I think is important. When I look back on my growing up years, some of the things that I learned in the summer, some of the things that I did in the summer, some of the socialization that I had in the summer was 10 times more important than anything that happened to me during the school year. And in reality, I think that had I not had a break during the summer, especially with like the bullying and all that kind of stuff and the feeling excluded and not part of that, I think had I not had those summer breaks and those extended breaks, I don't know that I really would have made it all the way through high school. I really don't. I mean, I don't know, but like those summer breaks, I can remember that, you know, getting out for the summer and just being like, oh my God, summer seemed endless to me. I was just so excited about all the books I was going to read, and, you know, we were going to play outside every single day, and it was going to be so much fun and all that kind of stuff, you know? So to me, to that argument, just to that argument alone, all right, that kids need to be in school longer because they don't retain information, personally, I think it's a piss poor example. I really do, you know? And I also think that teachers and administrators, who are some of the lowest paid people in our country, that have some of the biggest responsibility in our country of raising our future, you know, and educating our future and on and on and on, I feel like deserve a break as well, you know? Like, I think, like, some of these schools around here, especially like charter schools and stuff, they get out and they go back to school like a month later. I mean, so if you think about like with the teachers and the administrators, they're not getting out like the day that the students are getting out. They're getting out like a week after that. Like I have a friend of mine that's like a school principal, and like the kids get out and she's still working 2 to 3 weeks after they're out, and then she goes back to school like 2 weeks before they start. So her summer is already cut short. And I mean, when she is on like every single day. Like, we have like vacationed with her and stuff like that, and she is just like, I mean, taking phone calls all day long and manning issues. I mean, she really can't go on vacation or have a day off because she's constantly dealing with that stuff. Not to mention that she has her own kids that are small, you know? And so, you know, I believe that teachers and school administrators need that renewal period as well of the summer break to rest and relax and be refreshed for the following year. But that's just my opinion. I know that there's a lot of people that are going to be like, but Peter, what you don't know is this, but Peter, what you don't know is that, and whatever. I am just speaking to teachers deserving that renewal period, and I'm also just talking to the argument that students don't retain information. Well, what's different now in 2023 and 1940 or 1950? What's different with students retaining information? Is it the way that we're teaching? Is it that there's no truth to that statement? I mean, I don't know what that is, you know? And especially since, like, and I wasn't the world's best student, but, like, in hearing my dad, like, my dad to this day, like, remembers stuff that he learned, like, in first grade, you know? And, still remembers like poems that he learned and things. I mean, he still has them memorized to this day, you know. And so that whole argument to me is very interesting, to say that kids need longer school. I think we use it as an excuse. And like I said, like, I don't have any problem with the argument of like, well, there are a lot of parents like work 2 jobs, and so like school needs to be in session. I totally understand that. Like, I get that, right? You know, and daycare is very, very expensive, and after school programs are expensive, and I totally understand all of that, right? So like, if we're going to talk about it, like, I think that's a fair argument, but I don't think it's a fair argument to talk about, like, I don't understand why kids need to be having worksheets in the summer and projects to do, you know? It's like, I can understand, like, maybe giving a reading list, but, like, the one thing that kills me is, I've heard this from, like, friends of mine's kids that are literally, like, in 5th and 6th grade, that before they go into the school year, like, they have a reading list of, like, 5 to 10 books that they're supposed to read over the summer that they're going to start talking about as soon as that they have to read to go into the next grade, that they're going to start talking about as soon as, and I'm like, why can we not wait until the fall to start reading these books? Like, let kids read what they want to read in the summer. Let them expand their horizons. Let them play outside and build forts and go to the pool and, you know, ride bikes around the neighborhood with the other kids. Let them, you know, have fun. Let them relax a little bit. Let kids be kids, you know. I think we're growing these kids up so fast in society that we want them to be like powerhouses when they're, you know, going into 4th and 5th grade, and that they're doing, you know, 3 hours of homework a night. And I have to be honest with you, like, I know some parents, I wouldn't say close friends of mine, but people that I know that will be like, oh yeah, you know, like Johnny and Susie, they have 2 hours of homework every night, you know, and Johnny and Susie are like 7 and 9. And they'll be like, yeah, we have desks that we sit up and they sit down and, you know, we monitor their homework and we make sure that they have their homework done every night. It's almost like this pride thing that they do, you know. You know, and Sally's got dance from 3:30 to 5:30, and then, you know, and Johnny's got, you know, baseball from this time to this time. And they come home and they eat dinner from, you know, 6 to 7, and then from 7 to 8:30 they're, you know, doing homework, and then from 8:30 to 9 they're taking baths and get ready for bed, and then they're in bed at 9 o'clock. I mean, what happened to kids being kids? I don't know. It just makes me kind of sad. I'm so grateful that my parents alive. And like I said, I know that's not a popular opinion. I know that there are going to be a lot of parents out there that are going to, like, not like that I said that, but I do think it's important to let kids be kids, you know? I don't know. I'm grateful that I was allowed to do that. Charlotte said, wishing everyone a fantastic week. Sabrina said, Tanya is awesome. So Sabrina is going back and watching all of my videos from years ago, and she's commenting on all of them. She actually said, I'm going to start commenting on every old video I watch. I'm on video 42 out of 337 for 2017. Oh, this was interesting what she said. She said, it seems like some dates are missing. Not sure if those were days you skipped or if the videos are deleted now, but it'll say day 46, and then the next video in the playlist is day 49. Okay, I have to be honest with you. I have absolutely no idea why that is the way that it is. I have not deleted, that I'm aware of, I have not deleted any videos on my vlog channel. I don't know why I would have. I don't remember. But I will tell you what's interesting about you saying this, and I don't know what year you're on. Did you say? 2017. So I used to, if you guys remember, I used to title my videos like day 49, like she's saying, day 50, whatever. I would always get to the end of the year and I could never figure it out, and I'd be like 5 days behind. And I'm like I'd be like at day 360 instead of day 365, and I could never figure it out. I did it for like 2 or 3 years in a row, and I never could figure it out. I was like, what, like, and back then, if you guys remember, before PP passed away, I never, ever did not post a video. Up until PP passed away, I posted a vlog every single day on my channel. So I don't know why there are missing days there. Like I said, I didn't delete vlogs, so I have no idea why that is. But I thought that was an interesting observation. But like I said, like I would get to the end of the year and it would be like, you know, like day 355 or something. I'd be like, what happened to 10 days? Did I miss number days? Did I do something? Whatever. Simply Matt said, you are the gift that keeps on giving. Thank you so much. Brandy said, I started watching Jury Duty last night. Great recommendation. James Marsden was actually on NPR Fresh Air talking about the show this weekend. Oh my God, that takes me back. My mom and I The tripod just fell again, you guys. I'm gonna have to like look at this tripod or maybe buy another one. They're probably like $9.99 on Amazon or something like that. But anyway, I'll tell you about this Fresh Air thing. So my mom, when she would pick me up from school, she used to listen to Fresh Air and NPR like every single day. And on the weekends, we used to listen to, I think it was on Sundays maybe. If somebody else remembers this, let me know. It was with Fiona somebody. I want to say Fiona Ritchie, but I don't think that's correct. But it was called Thistle and Shamrock. And it was all Celtic music. And my mom would play it in the kitchen with like the windows open. And we would listen to it while she was cooking. I loved it. Alexis said, Norma is the kind of shady old lady that I want to be when I grow up. My neighbor Norma that no longer lives there. I mean, at this point, Norma would probably be... I was actually talking to my neighbor at the pool, and I said, how long have you been there? And she said, like, 6 years. And her aunt lived there 2 years before her, which means 8 years. Norma was 103 when she moved out, I think. So that would put her at 211. Well, I think Norma passed. I think, actually, her grandma told me that Norma passed at one point. I think they, like, she even, like, called her priest to come out and do, like, her last rites on her or something. And then, like, Norma continued to live, like, days after that or something. I don't know why I remember that. But I think she's since passed. I'll have to ask somebody else in the neighborhood. Kayla said, Peter, please continue to talk about your shows. I am now using your recommendations to give my other half. He goes through shows like no tomorrow. Let me know what shows he watches, because that could help me. And we don't share the same taste. I mostly watch, or I love this, or rewatch old shows and old movies. Love Roseanne, plus Gilmore Girls, Pretty Woman, LOL. Just a lot of 80s, 90s, 2000s stuff. Am I getting old? No, you're not getting old at all. And Nick Anonymous said, oh my God, we are twins. I had to look. If I wrote this comment, my boyfriend has similar tastes in shows like Peter and I give him Peter's recommendations. He goes to so many series. I'm different. I watch older stuff like Friends, Golden Girls, and Annie, the Miss Marple films, Pretty Woman, Working Girl. Oh God, Working Girl. I love that movie so much. Kayla said, oh my goodness, yes, right up my alley. Did we just become best friends? And Nick responded to this and said, best friends and good Judys. That's what I'm going to title this video. Best friends and good Judys. I love the 80s, like, action romance movies, like Romancing the Stone and, like, Foul Play and all those movies. Like, I love those movies so much, which is why I have them all on VCR. I have, like, actually bought quite a few of them, and I have them on my iTunes movie library now, because I'm afraid that they'll at some point be, like, not able to be streaming anymore. So, what is going on? I got so many text messages. Are these all from Piata? They're all from Piata. Your DoorDash order has been delivered. Per your instructions, your dasher left it at your door. Actually, I went and picked it up from the driveway. But anyway, I love all those movies so much. I think they're so fantastic. And there was just something about that era of movie. Those exciting kind of romance adventure movies. I love those so much. Ruthless People, I love that movie. With Bette Midler. I can't remember. Outrageous Fortune with Bette Midler and Shelley. What's her name? I actually own it on my iTunes. What was her name? Shelley? I can't think of her name. Anyway, from Cheers, you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't love the TV shows from that era. I mean, I love, like, Love Boat, Fantasy Island, Roseanne. But, like, Gilmore Girls I've never been into. Friends. Those I feel like are more, like, 90s shows. Friends, Seinfeld, stuff like that. Like, Alex loves a lot of that stuff, but I don't love that. So, anyway. Although, I do think that Friends is funny. I wanted to go in and start watching every episode from the beginning going forward. I was actually going to surprise him and try to get through like 3 or 4 seasons, and I was going to be like, oh my God, guess what? Like, I watched 3 or 4 seasons of Friends. I was going to try to surprise him and do that, but they're okay. I feel like you kind of had to, like, be young in that era of watching it and loving it. Like, I just did not love it. I actually dated this guy. He was my first boyfriend when I got out of treatment, and he would come here and he would visit me, and he'd be like, oh my God, Friends is on, we have to watch it. And I'd be like, I thought we were going out to dinner, and he'd be like, can we watch Friends first? And I'd be like, yeah, I guess. And so he would sit there and watch Friends while I was drinking a cup of coffee or something. But anyway, so yeah, I don't love those TV shows, but hey, we all love what we love, right? Watch what makes you happy, read what makes you happy, listen to music that makes you happy, and, you know, eat the food that makes you happy. And if piata makes you happy to eat it every single night, then I say have piata every single night. And this video is not sponsored by piata, but I wish it was. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about all of that I spoke about in the comment section below, which I almost never say. So forget that I just said that. That was stupid. Anyway, I love you guys so much, and I hope that you're having a magically amazing Monday and a marvelous beginning to your week, a fantastic beginning to your week. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And remember these 3 very important things. 1, you can start your day over whenever you want, or you can start your week over if you need to as well. 2, practice random acts of kindness, but shh, don't tell anyone. And 3, most importantly, yes, you know what it is. Make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. Like I always say, you might be putting a smile on their face, you might be cheering them up, you might be making them happy, and you might just be making their day. You don't know. And also, be kinder to one another, love one another a little bit more, and most importantly, be kinder and love yourselves a little bit more, because it all starts with you. And I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!